Good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 9th. Thanks for joining us on Up to the Minute. I am Dr. Lana Picao, Northwest College Communications Director. And with me this morning is Benjamin Escobar, HCCTV Production Specialist. Good morning, Benji.
Hey, good morning, Lana. How are you?
I am good. This morning was the first time in I don't know how long that I did not have my car AC on. I was
I
actually
know.
chilly. So
That
I
just
think we're
feels
getting
great.
there. We're
Yeah,
getting
yeah. Hopefully, and hopefully they keep coming those cool days.
right.
Yeah,
Absolutely, I know. Yeah, it would be nice if we actually had fall before we get winter.
exactly.
Yeah. So, can you tell us how everyone could find us?
Yes, of course. We are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, but Houston Community College District. We're also on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and on HCC TV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Excellent. And today, an HCC faculty member will discuss her own local theater company. Good morning, Jennifer Decker.
Good morning.
We will be right with you, but first, Benji is talking to one of our own HCC TV hosts about a new initiative HCC is offering its students.
Yes, today we have Sade Campbell. She is the Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager. So some of you may know her already. So welcome to the different side of the desk, Sade.
Yes, I just happen to host. You may see me again tomorrow in Benji share. So you may know me from that, or you may know me from, my full-time job. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody here at the main building really knows everybody, kind of, right? So
We do,
we're all kind of
yeah.
like a big family here. But let's start with the interview. It's a little different now, not co-hosting, but now we're person to person. So tell us about some of those financial aid workshops that are coming up.
Yeah, so for those who may not know, October 16th is Financial Aid Day,
Mhm.
and there's been a lot of work around, specifically from our executive council members, looking at barriers to entry and completion. And what always comes up is, well, money.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that is, and a lot of institutions are starting to look at ways around, like, how do we help students understand what their options are to cover costs? Because one of the first decisions you make after you decide to go to school, you're going to have to decide how you're going to cover those costs. So, in commemoration of Financial Aid Day, in addition to this is kind of college decision type season, people are filling out their applications and things of that nature. We wanted to make sure we provided a resource, and that resource is the College Money Moves Workshop.
Okay.
So this workshop is comprehensive around the options to pay for college. So what you'll hear about during this workshop is, number one, when we talk about paying for college, financial aid always comes up, right? It's this always first. And there have been a lot of changes to the FAFSA application last year, the simplification process. And of course, there have been some challenges that may have deterred students from filling out that application. So what we wanted to do is to take our team of financial aid, lots of experts with, if I did the math, it's probably hundreds of years of combined experience of financial aid from our team, and to walk you through that process. So we're specifically looking at students at HCC in the community that have not filled out a FAFSA application, so that we can make sure we get that information. And then in addition to that, we have our Veterans Affairs Department and our HCC Foundation that offers scholarships that'll be at the workshops.
Okay, so this will just cover pretty much everything about financial aid and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a lot of times we'll say, well, this is affordable or school is affordable, but affordability is kind of subjective. $500 to somebody may be affordable, but it may not be for somebody else.
True. That is true. And it's good that we have these events to kind of simplify the steps for students to get financial aid, because I feel like it's one of those very important things that, it's kind of the beginning step to a higher education. So tell us about scholarships that are available for students, anything that we're doing for that.
Yeah, and I appreciate you mentioning that it's the beginning step, but we encourage students. As soon as a student applies to HCC, they get a checklist about financial aid, because we want to drive home, your next step after you apply is to apply for financial aid.
Of course.
And the main reason for that is a lot of scholarship opportunities require for you to have that FAFSA filled out.
Yeah.
So outside of the scholarships that may be offered in the community from community partners or organizations, or what you may hear from us, HCC has a lot of what we call institutional scholarships that do require filling out a FAFSA application so that needs can be assessed, and we can look at, hey, what different types of scholarships do you qualify for? So, but we also have our HCC Foundation, and our HCC Foundation's main job is to raise money for you. Yes, you listening, you who have not filled out that FAFSA application, or may have wondered, how do I fill out an HCC Foundation scholarship? So these you'll learn about the scholarship deadlines, the scholarship cycle, to make sure that you have money in time for falls and spring to cover costs.
Of course. So I know I've kind of dealt with this with some of my cousins that are barely about to graduate high school, and some that already have. It looks like they're making that move to where once you graduate, you already had filled out that financial aid application, which it wasn't the case when I was in high school. I kind of had to figure it out on my own, but now it's kind of like you have to have this done by the time you graduate high school. Is that a thing now?
It is absolutely a thing. Texas had passed legislation that requires all high school students to fill out a FAFSA application as part of their high school graduation process. Now, of course, there are ways to opt out, but the Texas model looked at Louisiana. Louisiana was one of the first ones to require this from high school students, because here's the thing, right? This is what happens. Internal dialogue stops you from trying.
Yeah.
You tell yourself, I don't have any money to go to college. I don't know how to fill out that FAFSA application.
That is true.
And what happens? You end up not doing it, and you end up continuing to think you don't have the money because you never filled out the application to see what you may qualify for.
Exactly. But I think that's one of those things that you just have to at least do a little push to see if you can go to college and continue your education. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So for students who believe they already have a grasp on financial aid and payment options, why is it still important for them to attend the college money moves?
And this is the thing, even at work, you could have been doing a job you've been doing video production for years.
Yeah.
And I'm sure every day you're like, I didn't realize I could do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Even when you look at your phone, it's like, when did it start being able to do that?
Exactly.
The same is true with financial aid. I think a lot of students don't realize how work study works, or that you have to fill out a FAFSA application to qualify for work study. There are so many things resources that you may not realize are available when you start having that conversation. A lot of times it's not just the students, the parents don't know where to start with making sure that they're filling out their taxes. So some years ago, the Department of Education moved toward prior year. What that means is they're using tax data from 2 years ago. Because what was happening was, if you hadn't filed, the FAFSA application would open on October. You don't file your taxes, and you may not have been fully caught up on your taxes at tax filing, and that was stopping students from applying. So that prior and using tax data from 2 years ago really opened up some opportunities for students who may be like, well, I got to catch up on my taxes, or those parents. So this really is an event for not just our students. If any student that is considered a dependent student and has to use their parents' tax information, this event is for them too.
Awesome. I'm glad that we're doing this, really, because there is some folks who need that extra help, and it's just great that we're doing this and getting those students to come to HCC and make their lives better. So what are some of those things that those students should bring, like documents wise, to help continue with their FAFSA application?
Yeah, absolutely. So the event is going to start off with a presentation that walks students through, and community members and all attendees, what do they need to know to fill out the FAFSA application, as well as what do they need to know about their veteran or military affiliate education benefits and the HCC Foundation. From there, they're going to have breakout sessions where students can go into the computer lab, or if you're doing the event online, they'll go into a breakout room where you can get that one-on-one assistance to help complete it. But in order for us to help you, you have to help us. And what does that mean? You have to bring some documents, right? So I talked about that prior year. So bring your tax filings from 2 years ago. And your tax filing, and that's a good start. There may be some other things that you what's true for every student is that you need that tax filing.
Okay.
And for our veteran students, anything DD 214, anything that helps that is documentation that helps our veteran department understand what benefits you may qualify for, bring those. They're doing on the spot certification of benefits if you have your documentation ready at the time.
That's great. And so lastly, I know we're running out of time here, but quickly tell us if you have any dates that are set already. Can you tell us those? And then we'll get it done.
Absolutely. It is starting next week. It is over the course of a couple days. It'll be at multiple campuses across our system. So what I want you to do, so you can find the time, date, location that works for you and your family and whoever you are bringing, I want you to go to hccs.edu/money moves. I want you to sign up and I want you to prepare to come at 5:30. There will be food. So don't think, oh, I have to stop.
See, okay.
I don't have to stop to get dinner beforehand. Come, get your information, get fed the information as well as some food when you come out to Money Moves, and get the information you need, one, to be ready in time for spring, because spring registration is around the corner. It is opening on October 21st.
That's true. And no, if the free help won't get them here, the free food will definitely bring them here.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Sade Campbell. She is the Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager. We'll have all of that info on our show, on our post after the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. All right. So up next, we have a quick commercial break, but Lana will return to talk to an HCC faculty member about her theater company. So stay tuned.
When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
That one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me. I don't think you know how much like that helped me. I finally like knew that I had somebody.
We're back with Jennifer Decker, English faculty and co-founder of Mildred's Umbrella Theater. Welcome back to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we discuss Mildred's Umbrella Theater, tell us a little about your position here at HCC.
I'm English faculty. I've been full-time since 2007. Originally, I was also helping in the theater department because I'm also qualified to teach theater, but English is where I decided I wanted to land. So I've been doing that for a while. At first I was at Northline and now I'm at Central.
Wow, since 2007, that's a career at HCC, huh?
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Mildred's Umbrella Theater Company's mission and how you're involved in it.
I am the co-founder, myself and another former HCC professor, John Harvey, in 2001. I was an actress, and I took a creative writing workshop from him, actually. It was before I was working here, and he was interested in what I was doing and he wanted to write a play. And so we just got together to produce it, and that's how Mildred's Umbrella was born. He hasn't been involved in a long time, but I kept it going. Our mission wasn't really very specific until about 2011. We were doing a lot of experimental theater and things that Dr. Harvey wrote, but also I was bringing in a lot of published work. And we were in a program at Houston Arts Alliance where they were helping us strengthen our administrative side, and they said you really need to figure out what your niche is, that like what is it that makes you special. And I realized that a lot of companies at that time were not doing plays written by women. And I was bringing a lot of plays in. I was getting the rights to things that were happening in New York and on the London West End that nobody was claiming, and premiering a lot of pretty prominent female playwrights in Houston. So that's when we decided to change our mission specifically to promote work by women in theater. So we now since then, for a little over a decade, have been producing mostly plays by women. Sometimes we do a play by a male playwright if is either a really good, strong female ensemble or a female protagonist that is not a stereotype. So that's our mission now.
Oh, that's great. So, Mildred's Umbrella Theater, where did that name come from?
That is the name of a Gertrude Stein poem that is very abstract and sort of nonsensical in the Tender Buttons collection. And one reason we picked it, I just like the sound of it, to be honest. We needed a name when we were producing that first play. We didn't know we were going to keep going. We figured that it was a name no one else would have. But also, looking back, it is, she was a female writer in a time and place where it wasn't that common. And so it really fits our mission now to have a poem by her. The poem itself it's sort of a stream of consciousness sentence, and it has nothing to do with Mildred or an umbrella, but that's the title. And we just really like the name. Dr. Harvey was teaching a literature class at the time, and we were just going through the textbook. What sounds good? Can we find some phrase or something that sounds like what we want it to be? And that's how it came about.
I'm really impressed that you all concentrate on female playwrights because historically women were not allowed in the theater.
Right.
And
honestly, like, we can't find any old plays by women that are published because they just weren't being produced.
yeah, I mean, women weren't even allowed to act in the plays. I mean, the female parts were played by young men. So kudos to you. So you all just wrapped up a show in September. Tell us about that.
The show is called Cry It Out, and it's sort of a it's a drama and a comedy together, and but it's addressing the issues of women and parenthood in America, and how there's almost no choice where you're not judged. So we had some of the characters were women who wanted to stay home with their kids, but had no choice but to go back to work for whatever reason. And then there was also one woman who wanted to continue her career, and she was being pressured to stay home with her kids. So it was like these women were navigating their choices, but realizing that they didn't really have a choice, where they wouldn't either be unable to make ends meet or judged for their choice. And it was really popular. The play was, we got fantastic reviews from the critics, but also from the audience members. And it was funny to me how many men connected with it. Men and also women that don't have children. It kind of just, I think it touched on a lot of things about American society that keep people from being able to have fulfilled lives in a way.
Oh, I love that. When my children were younger, my husband would drop them off at school because I would be commuting to work. And everybody at the school assumed he was a single father. They didn't even consider that maybe his wife is a professional and needs to, go to work. So, yeah.
There's also a male character in the play, and some of that stuff is touched on. Yeah.
That's cool. So what are your plans for the spring?
We don't have our own performance space. We did for a while. One place was the overhead was ridiculously high, and we're trying to make sure we can pay the artists a decent amount of money. I don't have huge funders, so we went to where we're kind of a gypsy company again, and I've been talking to the people at the Jewish Community Center because they have a black box theater that they rarely use. And they hired me twice to direct for them, just for them, not for my company. So I got to know the people there and they trust my work. So I asked them, what would you think about doing a collaboration with us now that you know what I do? And their mission obviously is Jewish artists, playwrights, and our mission is female playwrights. So we just found some scripts that we both agreed on that were by women who are Jewish, and so we're doing 2 shows there in 2025 in February and also in September. The one in February I'm directing, it's called The Wanderers, and it's kind of about arranged marriages, either specifically arranged marriages or people that just feel pushed together and unable to get out of the relationship. So there's like 2 timelines going on. One is like an Orthodox Jewish couple, and the other is just a couple that is just they're feeling like they can't get away from each other. And it's a beautiful play. It's a little abstract and it constantly moves. And
Well,
then
I'm sorry, Jennifer, we are running out of time, but I'm so excited and I can't wait to hear more about this. So thank you, Jennifer Decker, HCC English instructor and co-founder of Mildred's Umbrella Theater. And we'll have your information in our post after the show. Thanks, Jennifer.
Thank you so much.
And coming up after a quick commercial break, Benji and I will return with some news and announcements.
When I grow up, I want to work at a school so I can be a teacher.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Well, welcome back. Benji and I are going to get to some news and announcements, and we'll start with our virtual workshops. HCC students are invited to join this fall 2024 workshop series hosted by the Academic Success Centers. Whew, that's a mouthful. And HCC Student Life. These virtual workshops provide study strategies and helpful academic habits. Coming up is Remembering What You Read, and that's today, which is Wednesday, October 9th at 4 p.m., and that will be on Teams. So check out our post after the show for more information.
Yes, and next up we have SOUP leadership workshops from vision to reality. HCC Student Life is presenting a series of workshops to help students learn about leadership. Up next is Bring Your Vision to Reality with Carmen Walton. This will take place Friday, October 18th from 10:30 a.m. to noon at the HCC Eastside Student Life Center. So check out our post of the show for more info.
And graduation deadlines are posted, so don't miss your chance. Another grad season is upon us. If a student is preparing to graduate, they must complete 2 important steps. They must apply for graduation to show they have met all academic requirements to receive a diploma. Also, if they plan to walk the stage at commencement on December 13th, they must register. So apply for graduation by November 1st, and registration for commencement is get your application in by November 15th, and you can check out our post after the show for more info.
Yes, and next we have Student Juried Art Exhibition and Alumni. This exhibit showcases artworks from regional community colleges, as well as HCC's own students and its alums. This will take place, well, the artist reception will take place Friday, November 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. And the exhibition will be through November 1st. This will be at the HCC Southwest Stafford Fine Arts Gallery. The exhibition is free. So if you'd like to visit, please check out our post after the show.
Yes, and to help Eagles Soar, HCC Foundation is asking for donations to the annual faculty and staff employee giving campaign. All donations make a difference to HCC students and programs, and donors may be able to increase their payroll deduction and win an all-new I Love HCC tote bag and other fine giveaways. Check out our post after the show for more info.
And listen to this, folks. I know me and Trey were talking about this earlier, but spring registration starts soon. Smaller fall classes are still available. Registration for the spring semester is just around the corner, but smaller semesters are still offered in a variety of programs. HCC's courses are offered in a range of modalities, including online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid in-person, hybrid lab. To learn more about HCC program start dates and options to cover the costs, please visit hccs.edu/apply.
And coming up, we launch our welcome of HCC's new college vice presidents, starting with the online college. And we'll also visit with HCCTV student intern who is about to host a new show about AI. He wants to educate us, not scare us about AI. So thank you, Benji, for hosting with me. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.